Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been away for a little while. The world's gone crazy, isn't it? Anyway, I'm back at Duxford and I'm just about to do a quick sneaky flight where we've got a little bit of a weather window. I thought maybe I could get out there and get this sorted out, and it turned out to be a really quite challenging flight. We've all got our own sort of limitations as to what we're happy to fly in, and today I kind of felt like this was probably mine at the moment. And I think also perhaps just because I was up there on my own, I thought, you know what, I might have made a mistake getting up in this, but this is where we learn what to do in these situations. And also now I've pushed my boundaries a little bit more, so I think I'm going to be happy to fly in these conditions again. So sit back, relax, and I've got a little message for you at the end of this video as well. Ammeter is charging, suction is good, magnetos we do not check for dead cut. Bang on 15, facing this way pretty much. Instruments. Right, let's have a little chat, see what's going on. Duxford information, Golf Bravo Romeo Papa Kilo, request airport information, taxi and radio check.
Golf Bravo Romeo Papa Kilo, that's information, how many on board?
One POB, just for a couple of circuits, local flight, not going too far before the next shower comes in, Golf Papa Kilo.
Golf Papa Kilo, taxi on plane to Alpha, runway 24, QFE 991 hectopascals.
QFE 991 hectopascals, runway 24, holding point Alpha, Golf Papa Kilo. Right, so we've got our love from them. Let's shut that. Right, instrument checks. Decreasing, turning, good. Increasing, turning, good. I think I'm about the only person here today doing anything. So really, the reason I'm here is because this time of year, October, weather isn't great, and we're just trying to get a few flights in, a few extra flights, and because I don't live too far away from where we fly from, it's good for me just to pop down here. I don't want to speed when I'm going past the tower. I get really grumpy. There's a lot of birds about to land, which doesn't look great. There's shitloads of them. Where have they all come from? Come on guys, get out of the way. Give them a little rev. Try and scare them off. So yeah, a lot of birds here. Doesn't look like there's too many over by the runway at the moment. We've got a little bit of a gusting wind coming down the runway 24 here at Duxford. I'd say we've probably got about half an hour maximum flying before we'll have to land again, because there's going to be more showers coming in today. The weather's really showery.
So anyway, I got to the end of the taxiway, did all my run-up pre-power checks, and then sat at Alpha and got clearance to take off.
There we got just about enough time to do one circuit quickly. Golf Papa Kilo, holding Alpha, ready for departure.
Golf Papa Kilo, runway 24, take off at your discretion, surface wind 250 degrees, 14, maximum 19 knots.
Take off my discretion, runway 24, Golf Papa Kilo.
So you heard the tower tell us there that our wind direction was coming out of 250 degrees, which is a crosswind for us coming across our runway, because we've got a 240, but it's not much of a crosswind. And also we've got wind speeds of 14 knots gusting to 19 knots maximum. I'd consider that sporting, especially with all the birds going about and the fact that we had just a slight light rain going on. So not abortable, but definitely going to be tricky.
Fairly twitchy old landing this, but just keep an eye on that weather, guys. That's what we're looking at. Right, so here we are, lined up. I think we've got a bit of sun over there, good wind, maximum 19 knots, not much of a crosswind, should be good. Okay, things up, things up, things up, let's go. So just feed a little bit in. Airspeed live. Hammer up. Keep on that climb. We can get a much better view up here now. What's going on? Yeah, it's pretty rainy.
Yeah, about now I started to realise that the weather was pretty bad. It doesn't look so bad in the footage, but I was being blown about all over the show. You could feel it was windy and there was quite a lot of rain about.
Quite a lot of rain. Fucking heart's beating like mad. I thought I was going to come up here for like a nice relaxing flight, and it turns out it's fairly bumpy, and we're gonna do one circuit and we're gonna get down again, okay? Just coordinate that plane round. Let's set that trim. Bit of carb heat.
So I'm now turning onto the downwind leg, and I'm about to just commence that turn. This is when you really realise that you've got 20 knot arse wind, or tailwind as it's known, and you just start gunning it on the downwind, and then do all my landing checks.
Coordinate the aircraft round. Yeah, there's a lot of wind up here today, guys, so this is not going to be great fun. Golf Papa Kilo downwind.
Golf Papa Kilo, report final.
Report final, Golf Papa Kilo. So we've got quite a lot of crabbing going on here. Just got to try and hold this, hold the nose just over there. Miss this a little bit just here. Right, brakes off. Undercarriage good, mixture rich, fuel's good. So in a minute, when we turn again, we're probably doing a good, I'd say we're doing a good 120 miles an hour at the moment at this rate. Woo, this is some flying, I tell you that. So let's get some shit in now. Let's do some work. So we're going to get that first stage of flapping. Carb heat hot.
Looking back on this footage, this is where I started to make a couple of little mistakes. For instance, throughout the whole circuit, I left the fuel pump on, which, I mean, once you're up to altitude, you don't need to do, but as I was in a circuit, I suppose I could have got away with leaving it on. It's no big deal. The other thing I did that I noticed at the end of this as well is when I was coming to my actual round out, usually at 300 feet I'll do a crap check, carb heat cold, runway clear, approach stable, permission granted. And I didn't do that, but that's probably because I mental overload of what I was doing here.
Just going to turn a little bit more than we usually would. Let's get that second stage now. Nose up. Let's try and get that speed. Definitely plenty of wind up here today, guys, I tell you that. And the weather's coming back as well, so we're just going to do a nice early turn, keeping our speed just right. Nose down attitude, keep that speed going. That's it, that's it. We're not going to put any full flap in right until the end, because we don't want so much flap that it's pushing us about. Golf Papa Kilo final.
Golf Papa Kilo, runway 24, touch and go, land your discretion, surface wind 250 degrees, 15, maximum 19 knots.
Roger, Golf Papa Kilo. Approach stable.
Also, you'll notice here that I actually kept a little bit more height than what I usually would do on this approach, just so I knew I could take away the power at the end and guide the plane down. But also to keep us away from the sort of light rotor winds that we sometimes get on the M11, which is the motorway that goes just in front of the threshold of runway 24.
Just arresting our descent a bit. I don't want to get caught by any naughty squalls on the way in. We've still got plenty of altitude. I was going to talk a bit about how flying is relaxing, but as a low hours pilot, this is going to be difficult. So let's fucking do this right, Jimmy boy.
At this point, I was going to fade in some Top Gun music, but I thought better of it.
Wow, airspeed still.
Now I take the power off and start to descend the plane at a slightly increased rate to meet the runway numbers.
Full flap. Golf Papa Kilo, permission to vacate across the grass, back to parking.
Golf Papa Kilo, A7, vacate right, across the grass, back to parking.
Roger, Golf Papa Kilo. Fuck me, man. Boy, that was a good landing, boy. That was a good one. Wow. Wowee. That was, so that, we've got 19 knots, right, coming down the runway. It's slightly variable. I'm talking now because I've survived. Because of that though, oh man, oh yeah, let's just turn into it a little bit. Guys, I'm so, you know, I'm really happy with that landing. Jesus boy. You know, this is why I learned to do this. This is why I wanted to do it. You birds all sat out there. You're doing an easy job. You make it look so bloody easy. I tell you what, that was not easy. You know what? I forgot to take my carb heat out. If I'd had to have gone round, we'd have gone round without the afterburners in. Oh Christ. No, nice to get a little tiny circuit in there in some challenging conditions and get the beast down nice and safely. It was really, really good. Man, that was as soon as I got up in the air, I was like, wow. I honestly would love to see my heart rate. I think as soon as I got up above 100 feet, I was like, wow, this is so strong. Duxford information, Golf Papa Kilo.
What's message?
Yeah, if we can request the Bowser, please. Also, clouds about 1,500 feet up there, and that was quite a challenging landing as well, Golf Papa Kilo.
Roger, thanks for that, and you did well.
Thank you very much, Golf Papa Kilo.
Have a good evening.
I think I'm going to go and have a beer, Golf Papa Kilo.
I was going to suggest that.
there you go, that puts to rest the myth that air traffic controllers are there to catch you out.
See, because no one else is here at the moment, they can say stuff like that. I mean, Duxford's, seriously, I'm the only person here flying right now. But some days, you've just got to say, I know it's windy, but there's going to be times where I've taken off in this weather and I'm going to have to land in it. So, you know, this is the sort of weather my instructor used to be like, off you go, let's go, let's do something. Whew. Right, parking brake is on, radio's nav's off. Where's the old Bowser? Is he moving? Doesn't look like he's moving. Magnetic check for dead cut, radio nav is off, throttle, close, mixture, closed. Fuel pump on the whole way around. It just shows how much of a absolute shit that was. Master switches everything off. Guys, you're going to be listening to me in a minute on another microphone. Bowser's still not moving.
So that was a hell of a flight. Jeez, man. I can hear the wind whistling through the whole plane at the moment. I mean, wow, what an insane flight. Really mental. Did they repair that file? Okay, I hope so. Whew. So let me turn everything off here. So what was that all about? Because that was, you know, it was one of those moments where for the first time in a while, I've got up and I thought, you know what? I wish I hadn't rotated. In the last couple of weeks, there's been a few times that I've sat at the end of the runway here, and basically aborted because the weather's so poor that I thought, you know, it's not worth risking it. But that was something else today. It really was. Let's just pop that open, get a bit of breath through. What I wanted to talk about while I was up flying, I mean, I was hoping, to be honest, I should have known as soon as I got up it was going to be a tetchy one, but that was tetchy. That was crabbing. I was crabbing on my crosswind, I was crabbing on my downwind, and I was crabbing on my base leg. But we had good wind here, so when I was on final, and did you see there the way I just popped in that last bit of flap? Just once we were over the runway threshold, I could quite happily have landed with 2 stages of flap. But you know, we got down there. Sometimes when you're coming in, or in conditions like that, it's a much better idea to just have a bit of extra speed and a little bit less flap, because more of that flap can really push you about when you've got slightly differing wind directions. He still isn't coming over. I don't know where he is. It was definitely an experience getting up there and doing that. Wow, it was something else. It really was. So what I wanted to talk to you about while I was up here, what flying's doing for me at the moment with what's going on with the lockdowns and all that sort of stuff. Some of you would have seen a video that I made back in May, early May or late April, can't remember, which was a time capsule for what I thought about, what I think's been happening lately, why that's been worrying me. But those feelings in a way have kind of gone a little bit, because the first real bad bit of lockdowns kind of ended, I don't know. We've gone into this sort of purgatory at the moment, and I can see it affecting every person I know mentally. I really can. I've had 2 or 3 friends whose relationships have really suffered. This sort of thing is so stressful. I definitely think there are people who have broken up in relationships because what's happened has been such a stressful, trying time. People are just not thinking normally anymore. They're not living normally. They're also not living their own lives, if you know what I mean, because still people are, you know, really worried about work, stuff like that. I mean, I'm really worried about work, really worried about my job. I'm self-employed. Emily relies on me for all this sort of stuff, which, you know, we rely on each other for that. Me and Emily have been really, actually, a lot better than I thought we'd be. I mean, me and Emma are both fairly strong-minded, strong-willed people, but we have, I don't know, we just seem to have sort of looked after each other. And also something that we've done, and I think you might have seen it in some previous videos, we've stayed physically fit as well, which if you stay physically fit, mental health is helped so much by staying fit. The release you get just you're going for a walk, being outside. So what I wanted to talk to you about while we were up flying was what flying does for me at the moment, and I definitely felt that on Thursday when I took one of my friends up. He's been going through some trouble, and a lot of people have, and I really wanted taking him flying for the first time in his life in a small aircraft. And we went over his house, we went over a little town called Newmarket, which you may have heard of when it comes to horse racing. And we also went over Cambridge and then went back to Duxford. But we effectively went over all the places where he's grown up. And I just said to him while we were up in the air, I was like, mate, this isn't going to make you feel miraculously better all of a sudden or anything like that. But it is good for perspective. You can be up here and it gives you perspective as to what's going on at the moment. Tell you what, that wind has really swung now. Really swung. We've definitely got a crosswind now. Whew, so happy to be down. I'll tell you what though, if I was going up north today, I'd get there in about 3 minutes. If I was going to Norwich, I think I'd be there in a quarter of an hour. Christ, we were going like an absolute bat out of hell. That was a tetchy one. I think, okay, I know a lot of you guys who watch this channel don't fly. I mean, it's very rare that people go and get their pilot's license. It's very rare, you know, there's not many percentage of the population of people who've flown in small aircraft before, let alone do it regularly. Hopefully gives you an idea. When we see those images that we had earlier on when we were flying about, when we came over the motorway, you'd have seen all the lorries and that hopefully going by. There is a whole world out there of people, all with their little concurrent problems and things that are going on in their lives and all that sort of stuff. And I think having perspective over what's going on, coupled with the fact that you go outside for walks, you train a lot, that you try to stay, I mean, I think it's unrealistic to be happy 100% of the time. I've always said to people it's unrealistic. And people beat themselves up that they feel unhappy at times when they should feel happy. And it's like, no. If you were happy all the time, you'd never know what happiness was, would you? So yeah, I mean, I'm not a bloody philosopher or anything like that, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to get up, do a couple of circuits. I was going to sort of poodle about over there at 4 Mile Final, but oh no. So thanks ever so much for watching. Hopefully you hit the subscribe button. This has been the weirdest flying video I've ever made. Wow, that was a flight and a half, man. Right, let's get her buttoned up. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, guys. There are going to be more videos. I've got a great video with my mum and dad taking them flying, but also we've got the first eBay video coming up that I've made towards the late summer that I want to show you as well. So hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video.